And welcome to episode 40 of the Red Mountain Express. I'm your host, Blake Westbrook. Joining me as always is Patrick Tucker and Matthew Joyner. How we doing today, guys?
Wait, I'm second chair now?
It happens.
What happened here?
He plays the flute just a little bit better. When you say second chair, it reminds me of a band.
I'm good. I'll answer first since I'm second chair. Patrick, how are you?
I'm fine.
He's sitting right here, and I was looking at him when I was talking. That's how it came out.
I'm
love
chopped
you, man.
liver
I
now.
love you,
Yeah, I
man.
see.
No.
That's cool.
Okay.
Have a few disagreements about movies.
We can
and all of a
restart
sudden-
this if you want to, and I'll say your name.
No.
Get your...
How are you? How was your weekend?
My weekend's been okay. My little daughter's had a little stomach bug, so that's been stinky at the house. But other than that, I had a good week. I actually went turkey hunting for the first time, so that was fun.
Another week of not really working.
I do work. I was actually working. I was there with people I work with.
Yeah.
So,
it feels like every week your work is like, oh, I've got a golf tournament or a
I
pigeon shoot.
haven't played golf one day this year. No, I am playing in a couple weeks.
Well, it's early.
It's been cold.
Yeah. I expect
it's
here
been really
soon,
nice on a couple
as the
days.
summer ramps up, you'll be golfing like every week.
I don't golf every week.
Sure,
I still
yeah.
have like $150 in like golf gift cards to use.
Because you don't have to spend them when they're work trips.
Well, no, I would spend them if any of the you two yahoos golf, but y'all don't. Y'all just like, I don't like golf.
Nah, that's a rich
I'll
man's
top
game.
golf.
Huh?
I'll
Yeah.
top golf.
I don't have a gift card to the Top Golf. I have one to the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. I did have a Top Golf gift card. They got thrown away during Christmas. It was awful, along with a $75 Amazon gift card.
Dude, you're just throwing money away.
See, he doesn't need it. He's one of these, I'm going to just go golf every
Should have
weekend. I
gotten
don't need
cold,
money.
you know. But no, I had a good week. It was good until I came home and Maggie has a little fever and other things. It was just
That's what happens when you have a 1-year-old.
Yeah, you'll know about that soon, Matthew.
Very soon.
How's your day been? Or your
Well,
weekend been?
Day's been great. A little bit cold. Week was fine. Weekend, my mother-in-law came down and we got to spend time with her and worked on the nursery some more. I feel like every episode's been, hey, we've been working on the nursery.
What's left? What's left on the
I
nursery?
think other than hanging a few more pictures, like a couple of pictures and a mirror that she bought, that Laura bought today, everything's done. I built a bookshelf unit thing for the corner of the room and
Is that what you
her-
sent me? Did you send me a picture of that?
yeah, my Joiner Woodworks.
I
sent
liked it,
to,
man.
Yeah,
it
sent
looked,
that to
it
the
looked
beaches
good.
too.
It looked really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Just
just
heirloom quality, I think.
heirloom quality particle board.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate those things. I hate the Target or Walmart like particle board furniture. I hate putting it together. I hate the way it feels, like the construction of it. It always feels like it's going to fall apart at any moment if the wind blows the wrong way. But it looks good in the room. And it'll serve its purpose. Finally watched Get Out on Friday night.
Fantastic film.
I
Filmed
loved
in
it.
Alabama.
Still haven't seen it.
Haven't seen
What
it?
are you talking about?
I know, I'm slow.
What do you do? What
Well,
do you do all
no,
day?
I can't give you crap because it's been like a year and I just now saw it.
I give you a pass because I know you stay busy. But he has no excuse. He just has two children. He has two
Nothing
like
going on.
rambunctious
Nothing at all.
boys that take over his life.
I thought it was a great movie. I thought it deserved almost all the accolades that had been tossed at it. I do understand why it didn't win the Oscar that it was up for.
Best Picture?
Yeah, I
I
understand.
think it was up for 3. Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Screenplay. One screenplay.
Now, Best Director, I wish it would have won. I thought that, is it Peele?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he did an excellent
Jordan
job.
Peele.
I thought the actor did a great job. I enjoyed the movie. I expected there to be kind of like a message to the movie or like a moral, and there wasn't at the end of it, and I kind of enjoyed that.
The TSA.
The TSA.
That's why we won't talk anymore because
Right.
he hasn't
Yeah, I don't
seen
want to
it.
spoil anything.
Yeah.
Great movie, did that. Then, of course, today, tried to go to the Barons game, but it was so cold. We got there at the end. They played a doubleheader today, both against the Montgomery Biscuits
Well, why are you looking at me?
of Blake's hometown fame.
Batter up.
I got there at the 7th inning of the first game. They just won 2-1. Of course, they won their game Thursday night, and then I don't know the score of the game, the second game they played today.
Because we left.
It was so cold.
I'm not glad that my daughter was sick, but I'm just kind of glad I missed out on that part.
Yeah, you missed a good game.
Yeah, it was miserable. It was.
But then y'all went to good people afterward, right?
No, not afterward so much
During.
as like
During?
at the beginning.
Before,
Yeah.
I think it even started the second game.
They were doing their little 30-minute break to like clean the field up and stuff, and we were like, no, let's go.
With
It's
the 30-minute break to clean up the field.
Well, just between the two games.
Oh, between
It
the
was
two
a
games.
doubleheader.
Okay,
Yeah,
so y'all
yeah.
stayed to the end of the first game, and then
Yes.
okay,
yeah.
I gotcha.
Went over to good people to get warm and then stood outside and watched the kids play.
which did not work out the way I thought it
It
would.
was not much warmer.
No. So yeah, that's about it for me. What about Patrick?
I had a good weekend. We had some family come into town as well. My wife's sister and her mom were in town. Went to the Lebanese Food Festival.
Ooh, was it good?
It was fantastic.
What'd you get?
I got a falafel sandwich and
Sounds good.
tried a spinach pie and a meat pie, both which were excellent. I split those with Liz.
See, I'm not a big cooked spinach fan. Just me.
Have you ever had spanakopita, like
Oh my
spinach
God,
pie?
We're not
Like-
gonna have this conversation,
No?
man. I do not like spanakopita,
Uh-huh.
and I have a member of my wife's family that thinks she makes great spanakopita
And
puts it in my face like, you haven't had spanakopita. She said, my spanakopita. Like, look, I don't like spanakopita.
so
Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so if you're Megan's family and you're listening to this, it's you.
Blake clearly
she's
doesn't
not
like your
listening to
spanakopita.
this. It's not I don't like her cooking. It's not like spanakopita, man. Don't put it in my face. That's all
Well,
I'm saying.
But these were very good.
I
Very,
bet it
very
was.
good.
I bet it was.
And also had not enough of the pistachio baklava. It's so good.
Love a good baklava.
It's so good.
Was it busy over there?
It was. We went we went early on Saturday. We got there probably around 11:15, 11:20, and it was not busy when we got there. But by the time we left, we stayed and watched some of the dancing. Probably around 12:45.
Did you partake in the dancing?
I did not, but I think my kids were very into it. So I'm going to buy them a little. I don't know what you call those skirts that have the little shakers on them.
I feel like I need more of a visual because I'm not really sure what.
You should have stayed for the dancing.
Liz is going to listen to this like, Patrick's buying skirts
I think
For the boys.
for the boys?
they
Hey,
were
man.
into it, but did that, and then just kind of had a lazy Sunday morning and went to the Barons game. Sort of.
Sort of. Yeah.
It was so cold. So
So I'm still cold.
yes,
Yeah.
It's colder outside right now. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's going to get down to like 38 tonight.
I thought this was April, man.
It is.
Go figure.
April in Alabama. Speaking of the Barons game, Thursday night, of course, they played the Montgomery Biscuits for the first game of the series and won. I forget what the score I sent you was. Was it 5-2?
It was a whooping.
Yeah. Anyway, but the big news about that was they had a record attendance of 8,683 people, which is the highest attendance at the Regions Field up to date.
That's big considering that we're years into this. Usually you get that biggest crowd in the first year, and now you're starting to see this 3 years into it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just grown and grown.
It's
Yeah.
huge. I mean, that's 8,000 people in that stadium. I'm sure looked packed out.
Yeah, and it was Thursday too. So.
It was Thursday. They also had it was a Children of Alabama employee night.
Yeah,
So
which
that
I'm sure
drew a lot
they've
of
had
people.
those before. So
Yeah. Now my only question about this, thinking about having,
you know what it was? It was the Biscuits were in town.
I'm sure
I'm
it
sure.
was. Yeah. Having that many people, having over 8,500 people there. Where did these people park at?
Hell if I know.
I mean, we were there today, and there because of the rain and the cold, there might not have been. I mean, maybe 500 people,
Maybe.
and there was parking to be found. But I've been there on days like on Thursday where there's a few thousand, and you can't find a place within a couple of blocks.
Well, if you go, you have to park away. They have a big parking lot under the that tunnel or not tunnel, but under that bridge and
like
there's-
18th,
Yeah, there's a big parking lot over there, but you have to pay for it.
Right.
yeah.
And there's other spots around there, but you're gonna have to walk. I think that's one of the big problems that we're going to have to continue to struggle with in Birmingham. But having said this, every downtown has a problem with parking.
Sure.
I have never been to
absolutely.
a downtown where like, man, the parking's great around here. Like Seattle, that is the worst city to park in. I can park better in Atlanta than I can in Seattle. Just saying. So,
Anyway, that was cool. I thought that's a lot of people. I hope we have more games this season with that many people.
well, the Biscuits will be back in town. So,
I think we will. I mean, as the weather gets better,
Mhm.
and it has, I think it was probably pretty nice on Thursday.
Yeah, I remember Thursday during the day it was in the 70s, so I can imagine the
Yeah,
night
so
was. Yeah.
start to get the good weather. People are going to
tell
be
you
there.
what, I was in the woods at 5 a.m. on Friday morning. It was quite chilly. Just saying.
Hard at work.
Hard at work, man.
Yeah.
So, Patrick, tell us who jumped out of a plane.
Mayor Woodfin.
What was he jumping out of a plane for? It's like Navy.
So yeah, it was the start of is it military
Navy
week?
Appreciation or
Na-
Military Week Appreciation Week.
Was it the SEALs? I think it was I think he jumped out of the plane with the Navy SEAls or like.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, strapped to a SEAL is probably the.
But it was retired members of the Navy that he was jumping out with, and they have a name for that group. And if we were like a group podcast that wasn't like a garbage truck on fire, we would probably have this information
We're not
ready
a garbage
for
truck on fire.
you. Just sometimes, every once in a while. I use that term
sometimes our tires-
lovingly.
Sometimes our tires are smoking. Nothing wrong with that.
I believe it was a group of retired Navy service members that he jumped out with, and I believe it was for Military Appreciation Week. I say that looking at Patrick as he's checking his phone to
It is Navy week, and he jumped out with the Navy leapfrogs into Railroad Park.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, I saw like him talking on social media like he was about to do it. I was like, is he really about to jump out of a plane?
Oh yeah,
He looked very confident about it. Like he was ready to do it.
he did it with authority.
Yeah, he pulled it off. I watched Russ from Happenings in the Ham. He was doing a live story on Instagram, and I watched him as he was coming down, and it looked really cool. Him in a parachute there.
I'm gonna tell you what, I'd be making peace with God on the way up. Because I mean, my luck, I'd get there and they would like pulling the cord, like, well, sorry, man, and
You have a backup chute.
yeah.
My only fear about jumping out of a plane with a parachute, I think I would love it. I think it'd be fun. Is the landing. Like I know you're supposed to do certain things, like have loose legs and not really hit the ground hard. I'm afraid I would stiffen up and just like crash.
Okay, so my great aunt
jumped out of a plane.
Oh,
really?
And her and her daughter jumped out of a plane, and so they took a video of it, and the video was following my cousin. And she landed nice and gently like an angel coming out of heaven. And then all of a sudden they panned the camera over like, there comes your mom. And she landed like a rock thrown out of a car. I mean, it was like, boom, broke her ankle in half, So that's like something. Maybe I wouldn't like die, but I'd break something. Or they would make fun of me because I'd be screaming like a 3-year-old coming out of the plane. So, because I'm kind of scared of heights a little bit. Like I can fly in a plane. I could probably put me on a rocket. But just out there in the open,
the only way I'm jumping out of a plane is if it's on fire and it's going down, and then I'll be just
even
glad
then
that
I'm
I
like,
survived.
yeah, fire's not bad. We can ride this thing all the way to the crash. I'm just saying.
I don't want to have to do it if my plane's on fire. I think the pressure would make me freak out more. I'd lose my nerve in all the panic and smoke and fire. But having the opportunity to jump out with strapped to like a retired Navy man that's
but
got
see,
experience.
then you're depending on someone else's time being up. It could be like, it's not my time yet, but guess what? It's the guy strapped to me. He's going to have a heart attack that day.
I mean,
the next thing
you got to go.
You got to go with someone else. No.
Make it fun.
That's not the way this works. I don't know. I just, props to the mayor for doing that.
How many mayors do you know that have jumped out of airplanes?
There's
one.
I know one.
I can't name any others.
H.W. Bush jumped out of a plane. He's done it a couple times. So that's
a little bit different.
Is it?
Yeah.
He's older. Like, he's a lot older.
He was in the military, though.
Yeah, well, still. But he was like 90 or 80 when he did it. It's not like, And he did crash his plane, or not crash. He was shot down in World War II, so I guess that counts, too. So, I don't know. It's cool.
It was very cool.
Yeah. Well, let's take a break real quick. Let's hear from our friends over at Beecham Woodworks. Great heirloom quality furniture. A lot better than Joiner Woodworks. So we'll be back here in a second. Beecham Woodworks is a locally owned and operated wood shop in Birmingham, Alabama, specializing in custom furniture and small home goods. Chris and Kanan Beecham create a wide variety of unique pieces of all sizes, ranging from cutting boards to farmhouse tables. Using wood sourced from Alabama sawmills, Beecham Woodworks creates affordable quality pieces that will be a one-of-a-kind fixture for your home. So support your local woodworker and visit redmountainexpress.com/woodworks or check them out on their Facebook and Instagram accounts. Beecham Woodworks, turning your house into a home. And welcome back to the second half of the 40th episode of the Red Mountain Express. 40, Matt.
40.
Almost a year.
We're getting really close to a year now.
That's amazing. I didn't think we'd last that long.
I'm going to buy some fireworks and a bottle of whiskey, and we're going to celebrate.
Fireworks and a bottle of whiskey?
That's how you do it in Alabama.
End up in the hospital.
It's got to be illegal somewhere, Open container and fireworks. I mean, only if you get caught.
You can close the container before you start shooting off the fireworks.
You could say that about everything, though. It's not illegal till you get caught. I can murder somebody. It's not illegal till you get caught.
It's not wrong.
Anyway, speaking of alcoholic beverages, we can now have mimosas on Sundays.
Fantastic.
Finally passed.
Yeah, 5-0 vote. Birmingham Council.
What happened to the other folks? They just get
I
think they were absent.
Absent or abstained for whatever reason. Who knows? It doesn't matter.
When does it go into effect? I think it's like
the last thing I was looking at was trying to see if Woodfin had signed it yet. I don't know, but that's all I was waiting for was his signature.
I love some good brunch, man. I'm telling you what, Silvertron, they have really good brunch. You been there?
I've not been to Silvertron.
You've been there, Patrick?
Several times.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And then Little Savannah's right across the way from that, so try that out. But, yeah, so that's an update from City Council. They've passed that, so we can now have brunch on Sunday starting at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's good news.
And that is effective immediately.
Okay, cool.
Look at that. See? This is why you're on the show.
Somebody here that actually checks this facts before we keep going.
Facts are fake. I like true things. Sorry, go ahead.
Of course, we've talked about this 20 times. It has passed. We can quit talking about it. I'm excited for this because I'm ready to see how this affects us commercially in Birmingham. I think it can have a pretty big impact.
It helps out with tourism. Because I'll tell you this. When I lived in Tuscaloosa, when I went to college, I worked at a restaurant. And during football season, we would have a lot of people on Sunday mornings and Sunday mid-mornings. And people would come in and they'd want like a mimosa. And we're like, sorry, we can't sell alcohol on Sunday. And that's back when we were just completely dry on Sunday. That hurt business. I mean, more so than this. So, it's a relic of, time past with the blue laws. And so I'm kind of glad they kind of got away from it. So it's a good thing.
Now, you had another story in restaurant news.
Yes. So, Alabama Biscuit Company and Jack Brown's Beer and Burger Joint is going to be featured on a Travel Channel show called Food Paradise. I've never seen this. Have you? You all seen this?
No, I don't recall that one.
Yeah, so
Not that I remember.
They're going to be on that show. I'm not sure when the episode's going to air. It didn't say, but they filmed this on Thursday and Friday. And I've been to both these places. I like Jack Brown's Beer and Burger Joint. Patrick, tell us what you think about these places.
Of all the amazing high-quality restaurants we have in the city of Birmingham and in Alabama in general, these would not be the two that I picked.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it was more for not weird food, but interesting. I don't know. It's intriguing. I don't know.
So I have had the burger on a donut at Jack Brown's, which was interesting.
Yeah.
But
lots of places do that.
Yeah.
What's the big restaurant in Atlanta?
I don't know, Matthew. This is not a show about Atlanta.
They've got this burger that it's on two big donut
Is it
buns.
I think it's a Krispy Kreme. I think it's like the Krispy Kreme something. No?
It's they're known for being really mean to the customers.
Oh, the Varsity?
Not the Varsity. I mean, they can be mean to the customers
but
too.
They're so good. They're chili dogs. Woo! Eat about 4 of those things.
I'll think of it. It's something with
the Vortex?
Vortex.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Vortex.
They're mean to their customers.
Yeah.
That's their big thing on their website is you can't ask for substitutions. They'll yell at you if you ask for certain things.
Tell you what, you yell at me at my the food joint, I ain't gonna.
Apparently, you go there for the experience, but
yeah, no. I don't get yelled at. I mean, I'll just
no. I mean,
make my wife mad.
All right, so Jack Brown's, it's average.
It's okay. I didn't
love it.
The Jack on Piggyback, which had a burger with a hot dog and jalapenos. It was interesting. It was good.
So I have this thing about burger places. To me, burger places are really all about the meat, or they're all about the toppings that go on the burger.
Right.
So they kind of fall into a toppings place to me. So if you're into different funky toppings and trying to mix it up and putting, cream cheese on your burger or peanut butter on your burger, that's the kind of place for you. I'm more of a place I like a place that does the meat really well and is seasoned and just a good classic burger.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Rusty's. Rusty's Burgers is fantastic.
They are fantastic.
Featured on Southern Living, right?
Yeah, they were in Southern Living for the best burger in Alabama.
For our listeners who don't know, Patrick Tucker's brother owns Rusty's Barbecue out of Leeds, and we've been there several times, and I love that place. So anyway.
I might be a little bit biased, but
I'm not biased. I've been there. It's really good. They put that white sauce on there. Good Lord, it's awesome.
All right. But that's Jack Brown's. Now, my big question for y'all is Alabama Biscuit Company. I want to know what you think. I've got thoughts on it, but I want to know what y'all think.
What you want to say? It's overpriced, and it's just, I don't know. I don't need all that for breakfast. I need a Conecuh sausage biscuit or a Patty sausage biscuit. I just don't need all that fanciness. What do you think?
I totally agree. I think I went one time and bought like a biscuit and some bacon and 2 chocolate milks, and I think it was like $14 or $15 or even more than that.
I said you got off.
No, it was almost $20. It was $19. I remember now.
$20.
Now the chocolate milks were kind of large, but still, the base biscuit there. If you just go buy a biscuit, it's $5. I'm like, most restaurants literally give you these for free.
Yeah,
this is the bread on the table before you get the actual meal.
But I'm like you, like. I don't mind paying a little bit extra for good food, but like it's a point where you're like, okay, you're just kind of you're price gouging here. It's really, really expensive, and it's good. I mean, it's not like I've been there like twice, and I'm like, you know what? And they don't have sweet and low for my coffee, which I drink exclusively in my coffee.
Which you really need. If you're going to drink coffee, cut out the sweet and low.
Yeah,
Just
that
use
stuff's
sugar like a
terrible
real
for you.
person.
No, I just like sweet and low. I don't make fun of what you eat or what you don't eat. I'm just saying.
It's because I'm unimpeachable.
Whatever,
all right.
Donald.
So I've been to Alabama Biscuit Company probably 5 or 6 times
Here's
in
your
total.
problem.
I
Did you go get a loan before you went there?
agree that it's overpriced. I would even say that the menu items they offer could come across as pretentious.
You think?
However, I order 2 biscuits with whatever toppings I want and a coffee. I'm never hungry when I leave there.
What kind of toppings do you? I mean, that's the problem. Like I like
It's not a-
sausage
it's not a
biscuit or
problem.
bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. Like a top biscuit.
I can make that at home. I can make a biscuit and put some bacon on it at home. And yes, it will be cheaper. And yes, I'll still enjoy it. But Alabama Biscuit Company,
It's about the experience, huh?
No, it was about the food being good. It was overpriced, yes. It was kind of goofy the way they present things on their menu, but I enjoyed the food, and I was never hungry when I left there.
I was.
So this was at the Biscuits, or
No, this was at the location over there behind the summit.
Cabo
Heights.
Yeah.
okay? So I haven't been to that one. So to be fair, the only one I've been to was the Biscuits, and so you kind of have this contrast of everything else that's there,
Right.
which I mean is very unique, and some of it is pricier than other things, but. You know, my kids were getting burgers at the Standard, and one of my children wanted a biscuit, so I walked over and got biscuit and bacon, which was not traditional bacon. It was like cooked down bacon that was super, super salty.
Yeah,
and
sure,
I was just not impressed with it. But
It's like a piece of fatback or
yeah, I don't even know what it was, but for the prices they're charging, and I like I said, I would probably give it another shot, but I just wasn't that impressed.
At the end of the day, these 2 restaurants, if I were going to feature 2 restaurants in Alabama, like you said when you first started talking about it, I don't think I would pick these 2. Now, having not seen the episode yet, I don't know why they picked these 2 restaurants. They may have picked them for reasons that are completely unrelated to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But on average, I mean, I would not avoid these places. I think they're okay.
I'm not saying avoid them. I'm just saying like beware.
Yeah, I mean, I do
Yeah.
know people that go to both of these places and like them, and that's great. So
I'm just saying, like, you know, for $6.99, I could go to Salem's Diner and get like, you know, biscuits, gravy, and some hash browns and a cup of coffee with my
You
sweet
could go to
and low.
McDonald's and get you a
5 sausage McMuffins.
Sausage egg. Hey, look, man! I had a sausage egg McMuffin the other day.
I'm sure you did.
It was what?
Right before you started work
What
on
the
Friday
hell
morning.
the hell does that mean?
Right before you started work on Friday morning.
No, it was after we went turkey hunting. Like we were leaving, and we were hungry because we had walked 4 miles because we were trying to track this damn gobbler. But that was good. You know, they weren't pretentious about their coffee though. You know, they had sweet and low.
Good. I'm glad you got your sweet and low fix.
Anyway, I'm just saying.
All right, so another story you sent me this week. This is from AL.com. It's luxury movie theater could open in Birmingham by early 2019.
Yeah, Premier Cinemas.
Premier Cinemas has a plan to open up a quote-unquote luxury movie theater on Lakeshore Parkway. This is at 500 Commons Drive.
Yeah, so it's in the Wildwood area, right,
Right,
Patrick?
yeah, Wildwood.
Now, this was the former Windsong. Did you go there when you were...
I'm sure I did a time or
Yeah.
two.
When Windsong came to Montgomery when I was growing up, it was the first place to have stadium seating. And my wife said it was kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it was the first. I think it was the first place in Birmingham that had stadium seating. So we definitely went out there for that.
Yeah, so this is a new theater. It's going to be. It was owned by Windsong. Then Windsong sold it to Point of Grace Ministries, who hasn't used the building in 2 years. Who then sold it to Premier Cinemas.
They haven't sold yet, have they?
They're closing out on the deal. So I'll get to that in a second, but let's just kind of talk about the features first. It's going to have reclining seats, swivel trays for where you want to eat your food, electric footrest. I don't know why they had to be electric, but hey, whatever. An arcade, a pizza pub. They'll have a Starbucks and a full bar.
That's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
With
man.
auditorium service.
Really? I didn't hear that part, so that's even better. They're also going to have one screen with large format, kind of like IMAX. So that's good too. But what they're kind of waiting on is if you've ever been down that area, you really cannot see the theater from the road.
Right.
Now, you were telling me this earlier that, was it your wife used to live over in those apartments?
Yeah, when I first started dating Laura, her and her roommate lived in the apartments back there. Like if you come off of on the Commons Drive, you'll pass like a little gas station or ABC type store.
I think it's Chevron now, right?
Yeah, it's a Chevron. I think I'm not sure. Yeah, there's an ABC store next to them.
Okay.
And then you had this a couple little buildings, and then the old theater, which then became the Point of Grace Ministries, and then you had that apartment complex back there. And so coming off of Lakeshore, like if you're coming off of 65 onto Lakeshore and then Lakeshore into this little Commons Drive area, there's one lane left turn into it. If you put a theater back there now and that theater actually does well and has a lot of people coming to it, traffic will never be able to get through there. So
what they're waiting on is for the city to build a new access point to that theater to come directly off Lakeshore Parkway. It's going to cost the city $400,000. I think it did pass the Budget and Finance Committee.
No, that votes for the...
No, it was approved by the Budget and Finance Committee. They're actually going to have a full vote by the full council this week. So I think this is going to pass. I think that they want this to happen. It's another building in Birmingham that is vacant, and it's going to be something really cool. So...
and they're projecting that over 10 years that this would generate like $2.5 million in taxes. They would hire somewhere between like 50 and 60 people.
Yeah, so then when it's done, you can go see a really crappy Star Wars movie.
That area right now doesn't really have a movie theater at all.
No.
I mean, like the closest thing is probably
it's a movie
Vestavia.
theater. It's a movie theater desert, man.
It's a movie theater desert.
That's a new one.
Where do they go see their terrible Star Wars movies?
Where do they go see these terrible Star Wars movies at? I don't know. The Solo
or amazing Black Panther movies.
I need to see that.
You got to go see that.
Yeah.
In the theater. You got to go see it in the theater.
It was excellent. Yeah.
I'd go back and see it again.
We're going on a date or something? Is that what you're looking at me with these longing eyes?
What's wrong with that? I mean, can we make it a threesome?
Oh, hey, come on.
I see I've made you flustered.
There are children that listen to this podcast.
No, I mean,
man.
there used to be, but they're all older now.
They're all grown now after 40 episodes.
I did have someone tell me, so we both know, said that she listened to the podcast and that their daughter was in the back seat and said, "Mom, this sounds like news." And so they're like, "She turn it and put on the music." So
she was sorely mistaken. This
She was.
does not sound like news at all.
Not at all news.
We started out that way, and it quickly.
So, child, if you're listening to me, this
devolved.
ain't news.
This
It's just talking about the news.
Right.
We're commentary.
Less
But
informative.
I would go to that theater. I'm close to that theater.
Yeah, absolutely. I am too. I think it's great. Then also you've got the whole like Ross Bridge area back there that'd be closer to this. The Bluff
Right.
Park community is closer to this.
Homewood.
Homewood, I'd assume would be between this and Vestavia.
Well, if you go a little bit farther down that road, that's part of Homewood as well.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
then West Homewood's just kind of up the road from there too. So I don't know. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Now I've seen this Premier Lux brand, which is how this will be branded.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this Premier Lux brand before. I've never been to one. However, in Huntsville, when I lived there was a location called Bridge Street that had a theater. That still has a theater.
That the Monaco?
I think it's
right?
the Monaco. Yeah. Well, they changed owners at some point. I don't know if they changed names. Anyway, I love the Monaco. It was kind of like this. Had a small arcade. Had the full bar upstairs. Had a little restaurant at the bottom. What I really liked about the Monaco, though, was that if we were going to buy tickets to a show, I'd go online and buy them. And they had the floor seating, but then they also had this upstairs seating area. And I forget what there's like the privé or something French sounding. It was 21 and over in that area, and that's where they had the bar at. So you could buy tickets to that area, and it was only people 21 and over in that section. Sometimes they would sell whole movie theaters just to 21 and over crowds.
Oh, thank God.
I really liked that.
Yeah.
No children in the
no
movie?
children, no teenagers, no people. There would still be people on their phones because there were
Did
some
they
awful
charge
people.
a premium for this? Because I would pay extra.
I don't remember that they charged more for if the whole theater was selling out to just 21 and over, but for the upstairs area for that access was like $1 or $2 more. But then you picked your seats. The seats reclined a little bit. They were bigger seats. I love that place.
There's some Premier Cinemas here in town, but they're not the Lux edition. They're just, I think there's one in Bessemer,
Right.
And there's some others around town. But this is the one that's going to be this brand. But I'm gonna tell you what, there's nothing like going to a movie theater where you don't have to deal with like annoying people, especially teenagers.
Which you're
they're
not
they're not getting rid of annoying people.
right. You can't
Let me tell you something. You know,
signing a rule sheet at the door like
I'll tell you
or
what.
collecting phones in a bag.
And they're serving alcohol, so you're probably going to deal with more annoying people.
Yeah, very.
Or
I'll tell you what,
amplified.
They had to serve alcohol at that last Star Wars movie. I would have been annoying. You know.
I don't know if my microphone picks up my sigh the way I want it to. I'm gonna try and
Sorry,
amplify
man.
it later.
You know, I would have done like my fake laugh at all those bad jokes, like ha ha ha. Oh, that's so funny, Luke. Yeah, milk that, whatever that thing is. Yeah, ha.
So how does the in auditorium service work? Are they walking up to you in the middle of a movie, bringing you a drink, or
I don't know, and I've always wondered because I know there's a theater that's talked about a lot in Texas called the Alamo, or no, there's one in California called the Alamo. Maybe they're both in locations.
Maybe it's until the movie starts.
And they have service to your seat, but I don't know how that works. I've always been curious.
We know like the Alabama Theater works. They don't do it, of course, in theater service, but I mean they have locations all around the theater where you can go and buy drinks, and then they have the the concessions kind of right out there in the front. So maybe they do like service until the movie starts.
Could be.
Which I'm all for because if I miss the previews, there's no reason for me to go to the movie.
I'm exactly the same way.
Yeah, man.
My wife said the same thing last time. I was like, if I miss it, like her mom likes to just get there like right. She's like, they're gonna show 30 minutes of previews, and it's like
that's the best part.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, because you're sitting there like, I ain't gonna see that. Like, oh my God, we're gonna go see that. Like, and then there's always that one movie that's some chick flick. We're gonna go see that. No, we're not. No, we're not. I'm not wasting babysitter money on that. Come on. Just saying.
Those you can watch at home.
Exactly.
After they're released on there.
Yeah.
They
Like the
usually
Star
aren't.
Wars movie. I wasted money to see that.
There's difference.
I know. But look, I'm going too far, ain't I? Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, it's okay. I'm going to go see the next Star Wars movie, and I'll probably be the first night to go see it, and then I'll be disappointed. We'll talk about that then. And then I will go see the Han Solo movie.
Yeah, I was going to say Solo's coming
It
out.
looks good. It's Ron Howard. You can't go bad with Ron Howard.
I'll remember you said that. I'm gonna throw
Lawrence
that back.
Kasdan wrote this. He
that's
wrote
on-
Return of the Jedi, and he wrote Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, and also Raiders of the Lost Ark was one of my favorite movies. So I feel good about it. Having said that, it could be a big, amazing turd the way this last movie was. To all the children listening. Anyway.
And this has been the 12th edition of the Star Wars Bashing Podcast.
Yes.
Tell us about some new parking decks downtown, Matthew. We'll get off this movie kick for a second.
So AL.com reported that article was titled UAB could build 2 parking decks, ban freshman parking. In the article, though, what you see is they had a study done recently, and what they're looking at is over the next 5 years having a shortage of like 3,500 parking spaces on campus.
Lord of mercy.
Yeah, that's a lot of parking spaces to be short of. Apparently, they had record student enrollment last fall. They had over 20,000, almost 21,000 students enroll last fall. Who knows how many of these are, commuting in, trying to find parking spots. I know I've tried to find parking around UAB, like when school was in session, and good luck. Like,
yeah. When we went to that interview for Happenings in the Ham, I mean, it was kind of tough parking at some point.
and that was later in the afternoon.
That was later in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So.
So what they're looking at doing is they have a 5-year plan to manage demand for and improve parking, enhance transit services, and encourage pedestrian and bicycle traffic. They're looking at potentially prohibiting freshmen from bringing a vehicle on campus. They're going to work to improve the Blazer Express transit. They're also currently studying the feasibility of adding 2 new parking decks, one that would be in like the student main campus area, and then one that would be more in the medical district.
I like the fact they want to, not like it, but I understand why they want to ban the freshman driving thing or parking. But I think UAB is going to have some trouble with that because they have more commuters than like a normal university, I would say.
Well, they do, but they said that this incoming freshman class, 80% of those students are living on campus.
Really?
So, yeah, they're really trying to kind of make the transition from being a commuter campus or a quote-unquote commuter campus to being more of just a university town with on-campus housing.
I'm telling you what, they're building left and right.
And I think a lot of the building that they're doing is helping with that.
They look good. I mean, the new, the student center that they're building looks great. The rec center they built a couple years ago is excellent, and I think adding more parking would just kind of add to that.
And we were down there today and driving past, and they're building more stuff. I don't know exactly what it is, but they're in the middle of building and adding more stuff.
But you know what? Every school struggles with this. I know we were at Alabama kind of around the same time. You were there a little bit before I was.
Yep.
And when I first got on campus, parking, remember you had like the color code?
Yep.
And it was awful. It was terrible. Until you got like a good one.
Yes.
Yes.
And then I would just leave my car there.
Forever.
And just walk.
Mine was terrible until I got a pass to Tin Hor, which was the parking deck right behind it, and I was a double major. So it's Tin Hor. That's the name of the
I wasn't gonna. I was
That
gonna
is
take your word for it.
That's the name
I
of the
raised
building.
my eyebrows, but I believed you.
All the Alabama grads will understand what I'm talking about. But anyway, there's a parking deck right behind there, and I was a double major, history and political science, so that was in the same building. So I would just park there and kind of leave my car the whole day. But these folks now, they have to park at like the stadium and get on a bus. And
I have no idea. Like going down to Alabama now, I have no idea where anything is.
It's completely different when I was
redone,
there.
and
Yeah.
so I
remember
I don't
College
even
Drive
try
used to
anymore.
go all the way behind and now that's just like a loop.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not talk about Tuscaloosa.
Now, if you said it and I missed it, I apologize. But
Yeah.
does Tuscaloosa currently prohibit freshmen from
Yes, I think they do.
having cars
And
at
they
all?
also
or?
they also
from having cars on
mandate
campus,
that
so no parking.
they mandate that all their freshmen live on campus the very first year. Which
And a lot of colleges have that.
yeah,
Bigger colleges.
there was an exemption for it if you could claim that you lived so many miles outside of and my first year there, I just claimed I lived in Montgomery and they never questioned it. So I never lived on campus, which looking back on it, I probably would have liked to live on campus my first year. So.
You would not have graduated if you lived on campus.
Hell, I barely graduated as it was. I mean, I lived at University Downs, which was like the party apartments. So, it's good for university. I think this is good for UAB. It's definitely a step forward. They have a record enrollment this year, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. There's almost 21,000 enrolled last fall. So this is huge. Going forward, of course, this is a 5-year plan. The other stuff I've already mentioned, but they've also applied for a grant with the city of Birmingham to build bike lanes on 13th Street from 10th Avenue South to 1st Avenue South. So trying to increase bicycle traffic there. And then in the article, they give like a big list of things they're working on doing. They're converting all the parking lots to LED lighting. They're promoting employee participation in Commute Smart, which rewards ride sharing, walking, biking, and busing. They've installed more bicycle lockers. They've launched car sharing program. They've launched Blaze Ride, which is a van service for employees with limited mobility. They've added 3 electric car charging stations to the parking
For all the
areas.
students who are driving the Teslas these days.
There's more electric cars out there than
That's
Teslas
true.
these days, and they're getting more and more
Bolts
popular.
and
Leafs. Yeah.
Leafs. What's the Leaf?
The Leaf's the
Nissan.
Nissan, yeah.
Oh.
Apparently they have really bad batteries, but the cars over there are all really nice cars.
It's kind of
My
like a cell
sister
phone.
has one.
Really?
Really? Does
Yep.
she like it?
Yep, and she works at UAB, so
There
she'll
you go.
appreciate the
Yeah.
Our biggest,
extra EV spaces.
She's our biggest fan.
She is.
So they've got 3 of the car charging stations there, and there's more coming. And like I said, there's more. The list goes on and on for stuff they're adding. Now, the one caveat to all this, of course, is where's the money coming from? UAB's got money, but of course they're not just going to pay for everything completely out of pocket. So to help pay for these improvements, UAB plans to raise employee and student parking permit costs, which they have not done for many years.
That happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Alabama's was like a robbing you, man.
They also mentioned, I think, in the article about potentially having UAB police ticketing on residential streets, and requiring graduates to pay for their parking tickets before they can graduate.
Which
So
I can't
you
believe
have
they
to
don't
do-
do already.
Yeah,
You have to do that in
Alabama definitely
Trust
did
me,
that.
I had like a parking ticket that I refused to pay, and they made me pay it.
They held it hostage. They were like,
did.
"You want your degree?"
They were like, "You want your degree? You want to walk? You gonna pay this?" And I was like, God, it was
Even at Southern Baptist Theological Seminary there in Louisville, it was the same way. If you had a ticket and you didn't pay that ticket, you weren't graduating.
tell you what, if UAB gives me a ticket, I ain't paying it. No, I'll probably go pay it. It's good for the school.
So that's all there is to that story. I mean, that's pretty big. Of course, there's more stuff listed in that article, so go take a look at that.
Is the bike stuff part of Complete Streets, or is this completely different?
This is different.
Okay.
Yeah, this is part of UAB's trying to get a grant just for those bike lanes.
Yeah. I tell you what, I think if they can advocate more people, walking on campus, make it more of a walkable campus, which they have done, that would do that university a big service. And like you said, take it away from being a considered, a commuter type of school to, one that people are moving from far away to come to school. Got a lot to offer. Just saying.
Agree.
Yeah. So that's it.
That's it. That's all I got.
How you feel about this now, Patrick? This is episode 2.
I'm good. Yeah,
You
enjoyed it.
You scared anymore?
No, not at all.
Blake, this is episode 40. How do you feel about all this?
Man, I'm scared to death.
That's what I thought.
I feel good about it. I can't believe we kept it up this long.
Judging by the thousands of emails and phone calls and text messages I got after being my first appearance, I'm into this now.
Look, I've hired a bodyguard, and someone drives me here when we record because the paparazzi have been trying to get a picture of me for weeks.
We're now recording in a secret location.
Yeah.
We have to move every week.
Have you heard from anybody? Like, what did your sister say? Because she listens to the podcast all the time. It's one of her favorite. Right? Well, I'll say it's one of her favorite. And you didn't tell her, right?
I did not tell her. She
Okay.
did text me when she listened to it and said, "What a nice surprise." She didn't say it was good or anything. She just said it was a nice surprise.
What a pleasant surprise! You ruined the podcast.
Actually, the best feedback I got was from Matthew's wife, Laura, today.
Well,
Which is the most feedback
We
I've
paid
heard
her to
from
say
her.
that.
No, I mean it was very genuine for all.
she's never complimented me on this podcast. What
I know,
the
right?
hell's going on here, man? You know what? I quit. Not really. I'll be here next week.
That's what I thought.
I like recording here on our secret location.
Plus all the blackmail we have on you. You can never quit.
Well, you know, there's only so many times you can meet Vladimir Putin without being blackmailed, so. Because I've been meeting with Vladimir Putin. I've been colluding with the Russians on this podcast.
Folks, thanks for listening to episode 40 of the Red Mountain Express. As always, you can find more information on our show at redmountainexpress.com or on facebook.com/Red Mountain Express. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. We post show notes every week on the website with links to all the articles we talk about. So go check those out if you want to read the articles. I think for this week, that'll do it, and we will see you next week. Thank you for joining us.